So we are going to start with the discussion of the question answers, as we have already finished the revision part for this chapter, that is biotechnology principles and processes. We have revised each and every topic, right? So now coming to the questionnaire of this, that is what kind of the questions you can get, what should be your answer, and how should you understand the question. Basically, the practice of this will be made here. So I'm starting with the questions and I want full participation from your side. So this is the first question is, okay, name the technique that is used to alter the chemistry of genetic material, that is the DNA or the RNA, to obtain the desired result. Yes. What is that technique named as, which is used to alter the chemical nature of the genetic material, the chemistry of the genetic material? Yes, who will tell me? Kushi? Can you give me the answer? Kushi, Mago? But unmute yourself and speak out. Bhavneet, can you try? Name the technique, listen to the question again. Name the technique that is used to alter the chemistry of genetic material to obtain the desired result.
Genetic engineering.
Yes, it's genetic engineering. Very good, Kushi. So it is genetic engineering, that which is used to alter the chemistry, that is the chemical nature of the DNA or the RNA, thereby expressing according to the product which we require. Okay, so the expression of the DNA can be altered using this technique that is called as genetic engineering. Okay. Next question is, why is it not possible for an alien DNA to become the part of a chromosome anywhere along its length and replicate normally? Yes, Bhavneet.
Yes. Yes, मैम मैम
Correct.
इसमें वो बताएंगे कि ORI का बताएंगे कि origin of replication से ही
Yes, yes,
स्टार्ट होती है स्पेसिफिक
yes.
रेप्लिकेशन, और अगर एलियन डीएनए आ गया तो फिर मतलब ऐसे ही कहीं पे रेप्लिकेशन नहीं हो सकती, नहीं तो फिर म्यूटेशंस वगैरह के चांसेस हो सकते हैं.
Very good, very good. So this is basically the question says that why is it not possible for alien DNA to become a part of chromosome? Alien DNA is a foreign DNA. उसको कहीं पे भी हम chromosome of the host के अंदर नहीं fit कर सकते. Why it is not possible? It is only because the host that has a particular ORI. ठीक है, host cells that has the ORI and even the vector that has a one single ORI. अगर हम vector के अंदर की भी बात करें, आपने insert करना है foreign DNA into the vector, or simply we say that the vector that is having the foreign DNA is introduced within the host cell. Okay, so they have a single replication or region of replication ORI. When they are having the single replication site, that is the ORI, it will be specifically at one place. It is not like it can be cut at any site and it can be inserted at any site. Okay, so according to the action of the enzymes also, and also because of the single ORI, that is the presence of the single ORI, so that leads to the formation of this or attachment of this foreign DNA at the special position, not anywhere. Okay, so it can't be just along its length, it can't be anywhere, right? Can't be attached anywhere. Very good, right? Next question is, write the two components of the first artificial recombinant DNA molecule constructed by Cohen and Boyer.
Cloning vector and gene transfer.
Cloning factor. What is it, Simar?
Ma'am, cloning vector and gene transfer.
There is a resistive gene which is found that as a component, as a plasmid is there. So the two components of the first artificial recombinant DNA molecule, पहला recombinant DNA molecule के जो दो components find out किए गए थे, they were the first was the antibiotic resistant gene. The antibiotic resistant gene which acts as a selectable marker also, right? So that was first isolated and it was first, you can say, understood or studied by the two people, that is Cohen and Boyer, right? And the other component was the plasmid. The plasmids were also found as the first vectors, and the plasmid of the Salmonella typhimurium, that is the bacterial member that was also introduced, that was also seen as a component of the first artificial recombinant DNA molecule. Okay. Okay, the next is, name the enzyme that helps to join DNA fragments.
DNA ligase.
ligases, DNA ligases. Very good, Pavneet.
मैम जो पिछला क्वेश्चन था वो एक बार रिपीट करना है फिर से.
Question was yes. The question was write the two components of the first artificial recombinant DNA molecule. जो सबसे पहला बना था, constructed by Cohen and Boyer. कोहेन और बॉयर ने जो सबसे पहला आर्टिफिशियल रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल जो बनाया था, मतलब सारा कुछ प्रोसेस करने के बाद जो रिकॉम्बिनेंट डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल बनाया, वो उसके दो कंपोनेंट्स क्या थे? उसके कोई भी दो कंपोनेंट्स क्या थे? एक था आरडीएनए के लिए हमें प्लाज्मिड चाहिए, तो उन्होंने प्लाज्मिड यूज किया था, दैट ऑफ द सैल्मोनेला टाइथिम्यूरियम. एंड सेकंड उन्होंने यूज किया था एक सिलेक्टेबल मार्कर जो कि है एंटीबायोटिक रेजिस्टेंट जीन. ठीक है, वो कौन सी है, एम्पिसिलिन, टेट्रासाइक्लिन, ये सारी चीजें बाद में पता चलती है. ठीक है, बट फॉर द फर्स्ट आरडीएनए मॉलिक्यूल व्हिच वाज सिंथेसाइज्ड, these were the two components on the behalf of which it was synthesized. ठीक है Pavneet?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. So the next is, what does R stand for in the restriction endonuclease EcoR1?
Rough strain.
That is its strain of the Ecobacterium, E. coli bacterium, that is Escherichia coli bacterium का strain. ठीक है, R stands for RY13. This is the strain name, मतलब strain का नाम है RY13, RY13. तो ये इसका strain का नाम है, तो it is R stands from this strain name. Okay, so that is RY13. RY, it is written as this RY13. Okay.
मम्मी ये सब एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चंस है.
हैं?
एमसीक्यू भी क्वेश्चंस है, लाइन में से उठा उठा के डाल रहे हो.
One word है बच्चे, one word. According to your latest CBSE sample papers, there are no MCQs. Okay, no MCQs are there in your this session. So it will be only 1 mark questions. There will be 1 mark questions. There will be paragraph based questions. There will be assertion reasoning questions, but there will be no MCQs. ABCD MCQs नहीं होंगे. ABCD MCQs like multiple choice questions होंगे, लेकिन they will be only for assertion and reason. ठीक है, assertion reasoning you know ना, that is the first statement is true, second is the correct explanation. First statement is also true, but the second is not the correct explanation of the first one. Then there is both the statements are true, both the statements are false.
मैम इनकी प्रैक्टिस करा थोड़ी सी, ये होते नहीं होते कभी कई बार.
We will do just near to the exam assertion reason. I will find out a set of assertion reason questions and then we will do that. Okay. Because I don't think assertion reasons are somewhere present in the books. क्योंकि latest है, so it won't be present in some books also. I will find it out and I will make a list of that and we will discuss it on Monday. The mixed type of the assertion reason questions from different chapters. Okay. Right. So now coming to this questions, because you are not having any MCQs in your latest, according to the latest CBSE sample paper, that is of 2021. So that is, we are not going to practice for the MCQs even for your sample papers, for your board papers. And also there is a 1 mark questions are there. So that requires these kind of the explanations, a bit of the explanations are required in that 1 mark questions. Until unless it is not just to name, जब तक ये सिर्फ एक नाम का अक्षर का नहीं आता है क्वेश्चन आपको, तब तक आपने 1 वर्ड आंसर नहीं देना है 1 मार्क्स में. इट रिक्वायर्स अ लाइन एटलीस्ट. ओके, एटलीस्ट 1 सेंटेंस इट रिक्वायर्स. ओके, so don't just give your answer just in a 1 word. It is a 1 sentence answers for 1 mark. Okay, name the material used as matrix in the gel electrophoresis and mention its role. Yes. Agarose gel, that is used for the gel electrophoresis. And what is its role?
वो लाइटर और हैवियर मटेरियल्स को, मतलब वो लाइटर्स होते हैं वो दूर चले जाते हैं.
Basically it provides a, you can say a substrate, not a kind of a substrate, but basically it is a material. Agarose is a material which helps to differentiate the fragments according to their molecular sizes. So it is actually, it provides a sieving effect. You can write for this that the agarose gel is required for the gel electrophoresis, and it provides a sieving effect for the DNA to resolve according to their sizes. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमें पता ना molecular sizes, the most heaviest it is, most nearly it will be placed, and the most lightest it is, it will be placed at the far away point, right? So if it is so, that is the relative sizes are also mattering here. यहाँ पे जो matter करेगा that is the relative sizes, and accordingly it is a material that which provides that particular material or that particular, you can say, substratum on which this all is taking place, right? So it is better to write this definition, that it provides a sieving effect for the DNA to resolve according to their sizes, right? Now the next is, which main technique and instrument is used to isolate DNA from a plant cell? Which main technique and instrument is used to isolate DNA from a plant cell? Plant cell से DNA को isolate करना है. Which technique and instrument you will use? Yes. We have studied.
Micro injection.
No, that is to inject. Micro injection is to inject the rDNA into the plant cell. We are to isolate out. हमने DNA निकालना है plant cell से बाहर. हम लोगों ने enzymes का action किया है, but enzymes के साथ साथ we are also used to use this particular technique, that is of centrifugation. ठीक है? With the action of the enzymes and with the action of these host cell and enzymes are introduced, and then they are centrifuged. That is, उनको बहुत ज़्यादा high speed में rotate कर दिया जाता है, so that the cell walls they are broken down with the help of the enzymes very quickly, right? So what is the technique which is used here? That is the centrifugation. And what is the instrument will be used here? That is a centrifugation machine. That is a centrifuge. Okay. Why is plasmid an important tool in biotechnology experiments? Yes. हाँ जी बताओ. Why is plasmid an important tool in biotechnology experiments? Yes, tell me. Plasmid, इतने सारे features किए हमने. Features of the plasmid that makes it the best vector, best to be used as a vector. Yes. Plasmid has a single ORI, है ना? The selectable markers are also present in that, or it has a single cloning site. ये सारे features किए ना. What makes it best for to be used as a vector in the rDNA technology? So this is the characteristics that makes it best, right? What are the two organisms that, what are the two things or the organisms that which are used as a vectors commonly? One is plasmid, another is
Bacteriophages.
Bacteriophages, right? Because of their features, they are used maximally. They are used in this technique, that is the rDNA technique. Okay. Now the next is, name the two antibiotic resistant genes in the PBR322 of E. coli plasmid.
Tetracycline, ampicillin.
Tetracycline resistive genes and ampicillin resistance gene. ये पूरा नाम लिखना है आपने. टेट्रासाइक्लिन एंड एम्पिसिलिन कल्ला आंसर है एंटीबायोटिक्स के नाम का. ठीक है, जब आपको रेजिस्टेंट जीन पूछिए तो आपने साथ में रेजिस्टेंस जीन बताना है. The next question is, state what happens when an alien DNA is ligated at the SAL1 site of PBR322 plasmid. Yes.
Repeat करना.
State what happens when an alien DNA is ligated at SAL1 site of SAL1, that is S capital AL, SAL1 site of PBR322 plasmid. Yes. SAL1 site. बेटा, if you will see into your that diagram of the PBR322, अगर आप उसमें देखेंगे तो you will see that there is the two sites that are present, that is one is SAL1 in the tetracycline resistant gene, as well as there is PBU1 that is in the ampicillin resistant gene. उस एरिया के बीच में है. अगर यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन क्या है, what will happen अगर हमने DNA ligase करवा दिया, foreign DNA, alien DNA is ligated at this particular site, then what will happen? If it is SAL1, then it will be tetracycline resistive बन जाएगी, वो जीन खत्म हो जाएगी, उसका इफेक्ट जो है वो खत्म हो जाएगा, है ना, हमने किया था ना, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज आल्सो एक्टिंग एज अ सेलेक्टेबल मार्कर फॉर डिफरेंशिएटिंग बिटवीन द रिकॉम्बिनेंट्स एंड द नॉन रिकॉम्बिनेंट्स, है ना। तो वहां पे उसका इफेक्ट ऑफ दैट इज द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ द टेट्रासाइक्लिन रेसिस्टिव जीन विल बी लॉस्ट. And similarly, if it is acted with the alien DNA is acted with this PVU1, and then there will be the ORI which is generated at the ampicillin resistant gene. उस जीन के अंदर उसका एक्शन हो जाएगा PVU1 का, और जिसकी वजह से उसकी एम्पीसिलिन की रेजिस्टेंस जो है वो खत्म हो जाएगी. ठीक है, सो इस तरह से भी आपको जो डायग्राम जो है PBR 322 का वो अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए, एंड यू कैन गेट टू हैव द क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस आल्सो, राइट. Okay, next question is name the commonly used vector for transformation in the plant cells. Yes, Fiza. Fiza. Name the commonly used vector for transformation in the plant cells. Fiza ji, can you hear my voice? Okay, Simar, Bavneet, anybody else who can give the answer? Khushi? Name the commonly used vector for transformation in plant cells. Plant cells में transformation के लिए commonly used vector कौन सा है? Disarmed pathogens किया ना हमने, for animal as well as plant cells. If you will see that heading, you will see it, it's written on in the heading only, that is these are the vectors that which are used for the plant and the animal cells also. And the one which is best used is Agrobacterium tumefaciens, that which acts as a disarmed pathogen, right? Because of its own machinery, a special kind of the machinery, it has been helpful in introducing the foreign DNA into the host cells, right? Okay, so next question is how can bacterial DNA be released from the bacterial cell for biotechnology experiments? Yes. How can bacterial DNA be released from the bacterial cell for biotechnology experiments? As we studied for the plant cell, we use cellulases. For the fungi cells, we use the fungal cells के लिए we use the chitinases. What enzyme should be used for the bacterial cells to release out the bacterial DNA from it?
वो lysozymes.
Lysozyme. These are the enzymes for the bacterial cells. Yes, very good, Bhavni. Very nice. Okay, next is mention the source of thermostable DNA polymerase.
वो टैग पॉलीमरेज वाला है, नाम नहीं याद आ रहा.
वो तो एंजाइम का नेम है ना, टैग पॉलीमरेज.
उसका नाम
P से genera, AQ से species. What is that? It is Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus. Thermus, that is T, aquaticus AQ. Okay, TAC polymerase. Okay. Now the next question is illustrate the recognition sequence of EcoR1 and mention what such sequences are called. Hanji. The question says illustrate the recognition sequence of EcoR1 and mention what such sequences are called. Yes, Fiza. Recognition sequence for EcoR1.
मैम फिर से बोल दो, मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, अभी कनेक्ट हुआ फिर से.
Illustrate, listen to the question again. Illustrate the recognition sequence for EcoR1. What is a recognition sequence for EcoR1? We have talked about this in the revision class also. What is that recognition sequence of EcoR1 and what these type of the sequences are called?
GAATTC.
GAATTC. And what is the site of its action?
G और A के बीच.
It is between G and A. And what are these sequences called as?
Palindromic
Yes,
sequences.
these are called as palindromes in the DNA or the palindromic sequences in the DNA. Very nice. Okay. How does restriction endonuclease act on a DNA molecule? How it works? What type of the diagram? Which diagram will you give for this explanation? How does restriction endonuclease act on a DNA molecule? Which diagram will you give?
मैम वो जो इको R1 वाला जो रिस्ट्रिक्शन एंजाइम वाला जो पूरा वो फ्लो चार्ट सा बना हुआ है.
Yes, that I guess
DNA
is the first diagram in your book, I guess, है ना? The very first
Yes.
pictorial schematic representation which is given in your NCERT book. So that diagram will you people be writing here. It shows the action of the EcoR1 on the DNA host cell as well as the foreign DNA. Okay. So cutting at the palindromic side, G8, EDC, G8, EDC, then the two of the DNA strands that becomes the blunt ones. So दोनों blunt हो जाते हैं इस तरह, and then they join, then they ligase, right? So that is, it is the diagram that which shows the action of the EcoR1 on the DNA strands. Okay. So if you get to have such a question where it is like simply it is not written somewhere here to illustrate it with the help of a diagram or a flowchart. So it is not written, but still if you will have any time left with you, that is after your paper completion, after the revising work is all done in your final boards, even in your pre-boards, if you get to have some time extra, you can draw these kind of the diagrams as well. Right? There is always a margin which is left at the side when you are writing in the answers and all. So you can draw these type of the diagrams neatly within that margin also, if you think that it should be there introduced into the answer, right? So there is always written in the instructions for bio subjects, especially for boards, for pre-boards, for all your internal and external exams. It is always written that is to draw the diagram wherever necessary. So this only means that is to make a good impression of your answers. You can draw the diagram along with your answers, because bio is more easy when it comes with the diagrams. It is more easy to learn as well as more easy to understand, even by the teachers when they are checking your answer sheets, right? So it is always, you can say, recommended to draw the diagrams. For that, you need to have a good speed and a good knowledge of your questions so that you does not waste much of the time in thinking of the answers. Okay. Okay, so next question is, a recombinant DNA is formed when sticky ends of a vector DNA and foreign DNA join. Explain how the sticky ends are formed and get joined. Yes, how are these sticky ends formed? Joined, we have already discussed, that is with the help of the enzyme, that is DNA ligase. But how are these sticky ends formed? We have discussed just now. But this is a kind of a question which is a bit different. Yes, tell me. Yes, no answer. A recombinant DNA is formed when sticky ends of the vector DNA and foreign DNA join. This is again the same as we have just told, that is a EcoR1 के action वाला पूरा flowchart जो है, you have to explain that, right? So here also it is the requirement as the same. A recombinant DNA is formed. Recombinant DNA कब बनेगा? उसमें बनाते हैं ना recombinant DNA, that is the two of the blunt ends वाले जो edges बन जाते हैं with the host cell as well as that of the foreign DNA when they are inacted by the enzyme, that is EcoR1. A cut will be made between the G and A. So that will lead to the formation of the two strands, which is one smaller and one larger. ठीक है, एक छोटा एक बड़ा, ऐसे ही दूसरी तरफ बनेगा एक बड़ा एक छोटा. And when they two join together, that is properly, वो जब भी join कर जाएंगे, so they are ligased. ठीक है, तो there is no gap left between. So that is, the blunt ends are always a sticky ends. You will say this, they will be forming the blunt ends because of the palindromic sequences, and the palindromic sequences which are formed, that is the palindromic sequences, they are identified by the recognition restriction enzymes, restriction endonucleases. These are the recognition sites for the restriction endonucleases. Okay? So because of their action only, they will be cutting at the different sites, and hence they will be forming the blunt ends. Blunt ends will be joining with the help of the DNA ligases. Okay? and the blunt ends becomes the sticky ends. ये भी आप लिखेंगे साथ में, blunt ends become the sticky ends. Okay. Now the next question is, how is insertion inactivation of an enzyme used as a selectable marker to differentiate recombinants from non-recombinants? Yes. How is insertional inactivation of an enzyme used as a selectable marker? कल ही डिस्कस किया हमने इंसर्शन इनएक्टिवेशन के बारे में. Yes, tell me, how is this insertion inactivation of an enzyme?
मैम क्योंकि वो ब्लू कलर्ड कॉलोनीज नहीं बनाते.
ऐसे नहीं ना, पूरा प्रॉपर एक्सप्लेन करो.
मैम जब अल्फा गैलेक्टोसाइडेज डलता है.
Pizza is not well, I think.
हाँ जी मैम.
Okay. Do take care of yourself, right? The season is also changing. But here it is basically insertion inactivation process that was understood from first of all the transformants and the non-transformants criteria, that is by using the selectable markers with the help of the tetracycline and ampicillin resistive genes and all. But here they are specifically asked about you about this particular technique of differentiating the recombinants and non-recombinants by the mechanism of this insertion inactivation of an enzyme, right? So here we are asked for the beta galactosidase, that is an enzyme that which will be inactivated. Their action, the enzyme's action will be inactivated when there will be the insertion of some foreign DNA into the host cell. When they are treated with these kind of the enzymes, there will be inactivation of the enzyme and hence no blue color colonies will be made with the recombinants. And if it is, if they are the non-recombinants, I think non-recombinants, they will be producing the blue colored colonies. Is it the same? The recombinants,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
recombinants, they do not produce any color, and the non-recombinants, they produce the blue colored colonies. I told it, I think I told it wrong way. The non-recombinants, they will be, the recombinants, they will not produce any color. Recombinants do not produce any color, whereas the non-recombinants, they produce a blue color colonies with the chromogenic substrate in the medium, right? So this is the insertion inactivation. So when the alien DNA is inserted within the coding sequence of the enzyme, it results in the inactivation of the enzyme. The recombinants can be differentiated from the non-recombinants by their inability to produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. This means that the recombinants are not to produce the color. Non-recombinants will be producing the color. Okay, producing the blue colored colonies, which will be differentiating the two, that is the recombinants from the non-recombinant ones. Okay. Next is state how Agrobacterium tumefaciens has been made a useful cloning vector to transfer DNA to plant cells. Yes. हाँ जी बताओ.
Agrobacterium tumefaciens have TI plasmid.
The TI plasmid of the Agrobacterium is responsible for the transformations of the plant cells into tumorous cells, है ना?
Tumorous cells.
हाँ, tumorous cells. Tumorous cells बनने के बाद तो क्या होता है? So it is modified into a non-pathogenic one. Non-pathogenic में modification हो जाती है, but still usable to deliver the DNA. This armed plasmid of Agrobacterium is used as a vector for transformation of plant cells, right? For these kind of the questions where a bit of the understanding of the lines, sentences is required. ठीक है, जहाँ पे हमें पता होना चाहिए कि word क्या लिख रहे हैं, sentence क्या लिख रहे हैं, because it should be all like you say, biological terms should be used. Okay, using the biological terms, using the good sense of the line, sentence, you must write your answer. Okay, so for these kind of the things only, I always recommend to read the question as well as the answers from your sample paper booklets. Okay, by this way you can get to have the knowledge of what question, what answer, and how to write that answer. Okay, what question should have which answer and how to write that answers. How to write is very important. Okay. The next question is, write any 4 ways used to introduce a desired DNA segment into a bacterial cell in recombinant DNA technology experiments. 4 ways. What are the 4 ways used to introduce a desired DNA segment into a bacterial cell in recombinant DNA technology experiments?
Microinjection,
Microinjection,
heat shock
Bio-
therapy,
biolysis,
heat shock.
heat and shock, heat shock therapy, and the last is disarm.
Disarm the pathogens.
Yes. So we'll be considering other questions from this chapter as well. Now the time is over. We'll be considering the other questions of importance and also the revision of the second chapter of the biotechnology, that is applications, will start tomorrow. Right? So thank you and have a nice day. Till then, goodbye.